Grammar Unit 1, Simple Present Tense. Welcome to Lesson 1 on the Simple Present Tense. In this lesson, we will dive deep into the simple present tense, learning its various uses, rules, and exceptions, and practice with examples and exercises. This fundamental grammar topic is essential for mastering the English language. The simple present tense is used for three main purposes. Habitual actions. These are actions or activities that happen regularly or are routines. For example, I walk to work every day, or she always drinks coffee in the morning. When talking about habitual actions, we often use adverbs of frequency, such as always, usually, often, sometimes, or rarely. These adverbs help us understand how often the action occurs. For example, he usually takes a walk after dinner, or she rarely eats dessert. In addition to adverbs of frequency, we can also use expressions like once a week, twice a month, or every other day to provide more context about the frequency of the action. General truths. These are statements that are generally accepted as true or are facts. For example, the Earth revolves around the Sun, or water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. General truths also include universal facts and scientific laws that are constant and unchanging. For example, gravity makes things fall to the ground, or ice melts at 0 degrees Celsius. The simple present tense is used for these statements because they are always true and not limited to a specific time or situation. Present states or feelings. These describe the current state or feeling of a person or thing. For example, I feel happy today, or she likes chocolate. When talking about present states, we often use state verbs that describe emotions, mental processes, or possession. State verbs are not usually used in the continuous form. Examples of state verbs include believe, know, want, have, and own. To form the simple present tense, use the base form of the verb for all subjects, except for the third person singular, where you should add s or s to the verb. For example, I run, and she runs. In negative sentences, use the auxiliary verb do or does for third person singular, followed by not, and the base form of the verb. For example, I do not run, and she does not run. In questions, we also use do or does before the subject, followed by the base form of the verb. For example, do you run? And does she run? It's important to note that some verbs are irregular in the simple present tense, and their forms change for the third person singular. For example, have becomes has, or go becomes goes. Make sure to memorize the irregular verbs and their forms in the simple present tense. Spelling rules for adding s or es to the base form of the verb are essential to remember. For most verbs, simply add s. However, if the verb ends in s, x, z, sh, or ch, add es. If the verb ends in a consonant followed by y, change the y to ies. For example, study becomes studies. Thanks for watching.